I looked over to the side and I saw this jet coming in, and it was really low, and it was an American Airlines jet. You could read the AA on the side, silver fuselage, and it kind of disappeared over this embankment here for a moment, and then huge explosion, flames flying into the air, and just chaos on the road.
And Mike, I'm here with a familiar face, Mike Walder of USA Today. Mike, you actually saw this happen. Tell us what you saw.
I did indeed, Gordon. You know, like everyone else, I was listening to the radio to the accounts of what was going on in New York. I was listening to President Bush, and we were stuck in traffic. We're coming off the exit here, and I looked up and I saw this American Airlines jet coming in very low, and I watched it, and it clipped. I don't know if you can see it over here. It clipped this pole over here.
The emotion
slammed right into the building. Huge explosion, and then utter pandemonium, as you might imagine. I mean, everybody was screaming, "Oh my God!" People started saying, "We've got to turn around." They hit the Pentagon. A frantic woman turned her car around and started weaving her way out. I got out of my car and went over here, and we could see military personnel bringing tarps out and setting up like a triage unit, a number of stretchers, as they you know, you could hear fire engines, it was the sirens as they arrived. They started to hit the building with the foam, and actually we're doing a pretty good job. And then we saw the triage people with the stretchers sprinting over here, but at that point they moved us back, and of course there was a threat of another plane coming here at that time, and I don't know what's happened with that.
Now, you're sure it was an American Airlines plane?
You know, we were stuck in traffic, could not move. I could see the big AA, the silver jet itself. I thought it was a 737. I may be mistaken there, but there was no doubt about it. It was American Airlines slammed right into the building, and there was no doubt about it. Whoever was piloting that plane was aiming for the Pentagon.
And we do know they hit a taxi cab. The plane hit a taxi cab up here on the bridge, the overpass.
I didn't know that. I did not see. I saw the ball of fire, and I saw it clip these poles, and then the billowing smoke, a gray column of smoke, and then pandemonium.
When this happened, there were a number of people who came out of the Navy Annex, and some people who were in the area. We talked to one man who actually saw the impact of the plane. Here's what he had to say.
I was just casually looking out the corner, out of the window. In the corner of my eye, I saw what looked to be maybe a 20-passenger corporate jet, no markings on the side, coming in at a shallow angle like it was landing right into the side of the Pentagon. And then a huge fireball, perhaps 5 times the height of the Pentagon. And I was on the 5th floor, so we just automatically just ran to the stairs and went down the fire escape.
You were where? You were inside the Pentagon?
No, I was across 395 from the Pentagon in an office tower with you know, a direct view of the Pentagon.
And kind of describe the trajectory. The plane was aimed straight at the building?
It was aimed straight at the building. There was an angle, perhaps. It looked like it was landing. I couldn't tell if the landing gear was up or down. I don't know if it was taking off or landing, but it flew right into the side of the Pentagon, and almost immediately a huge fireball.
On the Pentagon in American history.
You could tell it was like a suicide bomber, but I'm not saying there was a bomb, but you know, it was a plane, and it just came streaking down and hit short. It didn't go into the top of the Pentagon. It came like in short, and then everything sprayed up like a fireball sprayed up on the wall.
Well, Aaron, I'm in our bureau, but I have on the telephone with me Barbara, who is the wife of a friend of mine and who is an eyewitness to exactly what happened at the Pentagon. Barbara, can you hear me all right?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, what exactly did you see? Let's look at the Pentagon now as you describe what exactly happened at the Pentagon this morning.
As we were driving into town on 395, there was an exit. We were trying to get off the exit for the Memorial Bridge. Off to the left-hand side was a commercial plane that came in and was coming too fast and too low. And the next thing we saw was it go down below the side of the road, and we just saw the fire that came up after that.
How large was the explosion?
It was large.
Was there sound as well?
That I can't verify because the windows were up in the vehicle.
Was it clear to you what had happened?
Yes, definitely.
So you believe it was a commercial airliner that was hitting the Pentagon?
Yes, and I'm not sure exactly where the Pentagon was.
So I was up in the air traffic control tower, and the soldier went downstairs to the restroom, and I just look out the side of the building, I see a plane run right into the side of the Pentagon. And when it did, the whole ceiling and everything just fell. So
9:30 this morning.
Pentagon, we were up there on the roof up there, and a guy yelled down that they bombed New York City. And I was just watching the White House just to see anything, if it could happen, what's going to happen. And next thing you know, from out of nowhere, you just saw a plane real low and just went straight, didn't come in from high, came in real low, and just the back end of the Pentagon just blew it up, big mushroom fire cloud, insane.
Let's go back to Dave Statter with more from the site of the Pentagon. Dave.
Can you hear me now?
We can.
All right, I'm here with Michael Kelly, who was a witness to this attack at the Pentagon. I'm going to let him describe what he saw here, I guess about 20 minutes ago with me, Michael Kelly. First of all, let me just first describe the scene. This is the west side of the Pentagon, the heliport side off of Washington Boulevard. Were you driving or what?
Yes, I was in the traffic on the 14th Street Bridge, right at the Pentagon, tied up going into town, and I heard this plane come over my head. It was really low.
What size plane?
It sounded like a small plane, but it was very, very low. And the next thing I know, there was this tremendous explosion as it hit the Pentagon. I looked over, and the smoke started coming up. Pieces of the plane and pieces of the Pentagon were falling onto the 14th Street, onto the Shirley Highway. Very scary. So I decided not to go across the 14th Street Bridge. I came around, and I wound up here, stopped in the traffic right at the Pentagon. I was trying to get back over to Memorial Bridge, but no
Had you
luck.
known about the World Trade Center?
Oh, yeah, I was listening to WTOP radio the whole time, and then this thing came right over my head, and it plowed. It was clearly a similar situation to what happened in New York.
There are injured people here. We can't tell you how many. We've certainly seen Arlington Fire and Rescue crews, the paramedics working on somebody in front of us. We have not heard the number of people injured.
Tell me, you say that you saw a plane actually strike the side of the Pentagon. Tell me exactly what you saw.
I saw a plane going down, big plane, commercial liner type, going down full speed and just inside the side of the Pentagon. Obviously, it was going in the Pentagon purposely. And we were driving down Columbia Pike, and it just flew right over us. As I said, full speed, and I told my husband, it's going in the Pentagon, it's going in the Pentagon, and then we heard the huge crash, saw this fireball, and flame, and smoke, and...
So you actually saw the plane impact the side of the building?
Yes, I did.
Just one plane?
Just one plane.
Tell me a little bit about the size of the plane. Did you see any commercial markings, any markings at all on the plane?
I didn't see any marking because it was, we just saw the underneath portion of it. So, and it just, as I said, was going full speed. So we didn't have time really to see anything. Plus with the trees, you know, maybe if I could have looked at it longer, maybe I would have seen something. But with the trees there, the trees line, we didn't see any type of marking. But it was a big plane, maybe 737. My husband said 747, but I'm not positive. I don't know for sure. But it was big. Definitely the kind of plane you get on when you want to fly to LA or wherever.
Now, we've been here probably about the same length of time as you have. I have heard a total of 3 booms, that initial boom, and then I heard 3 less large booms, but booms nonetheless. Have you heard the same thing?
Yes, I did. Smaller explosions. Maybe it's inside the building, some gas lines exploding or something. I don't know. But we heard the other explosions. I don't see any other smoke anywhere, so I suppose it's from inside the building.
Okay, Isabel James, thank you very much for joining us. So there is a certain amount of chaos. From what we can kind of gather from here, it looks like they have let everybody out of the Navy Annex. There are just a lot of people wandering in the parking lot, and as you can see over there, a lot of them sitting up on the ridge and just watching as emergency crews arrive on the scene and do their job.
We came across one Navy man who actually watched the plane crash into the Pentagon yesterday. This is what he had to say.
And all of a sudden I saw a plane come out the west side, coming. It was going real fast. It was so low. I said to myself, the plane is off of course, you know what I'm saying? Because it almost hit that gas station right there. It came close to there. And then it kept going, and I saw the impact when it hit the ground, hit the building. I mean, it slammed into it.